this playthrough of Pokemon Emerald Kaizo, I'll attempt to go through the game without taking a single point of damage. I'll also be playing on set mode for an added challenge, which was a huge mistake. For the uninitiated, Emerald Kaizo is a ROM hack of regular Emerald that massively increases the difficulty. The opponents have stronger Pokemon with stronger movesets, and bosses actually have 6 Pokemon on their team, which is cool. What's not cool is you can't get EVs, whereas I'm pretty sure opponents get them, or maybe they just have perfect IVs because they're definitely stronger than your Pokemon. In addition to all that, and what I didn't know when I got myself into this, is that movesets were completely reworked. Now Pokemon can't learn any setup moves via level up or TMs given to the player. That doesn't stop opponents from using them, of course, including Double Team. Some other moves Pokemon used to learn they can't anymore, level up or otherwise. Some Pokemon learn moves they couldn't before though, so it's not all bad. And now most moves with the downside have the downside replaced with recoil, which limits my options even more. Seriously, why did the creator think it was a good idea to make every move with the downside have the same downside? How boring. Now Draco Meteor, instead of lowering special attack by 2 stages, lowers health by 2 stages. Of all the changes, this one confuses me the most. Abilities are also different, and I have no idea which Pokemon have what ability because the text document that lists level up moves Pokemon now learn doesn't say what abilities they can have, so that's a fun thing for me. I won't be doing the normal no damage rule of only saving after gyms because I'm not crazy, but also some opponents are holding Quick Claws, Focus Bands, and Quick Powder, so a true 100% consistent way to get through even random trainer battles is impossible. I also don't know what every opponent has on their team, and since this is a ROM hack, there isn't as much information online about it like there is for normal Pokemon games. It's entirely my fault for not researching the game enough before starting this challenge. Had I known more of the changes, I wouldn't have done this on set mode or even done the challenge on this ROM hack in particular. Also, fair warning, I will be using save states at the end of this run, and my other strategies later in the run aren't going to be very consistent like normal no damage runs are, so if that's something you're not interested in, then this might not be the video for you. I made it, and I don't even like it. When picking a starter, there's only one wrong choice: Mudkip. This is because Mudkip is stupid and dumb. Just kidding guys, that's only mostly true. It's only because of something you've already seen in this video, something that's constantly been on screen. Do you know what it is? Pause the video in the middle of this sentence if you want to figure it out yourself. Trico starts with Quick Attack, instead of Pound like in the normal game. If I picked Mudkip, I wouldn't be able to beat May with him since the only priority move it eventually learns is Bide. I switch between Trico and Torchic during attempts. Even though the Zigzagoon is only level 2, it's still an unlikely fight to get through damageless. You basically have to hope it uses Sand Attack turn 1 and that you get a crit turn 2, otherwise the Berry Juice will heal the foe to full. It's still possible to win at that point, but you'll have to hit through shaky accuracy and he'll have to keep using Sand Attack. I finally won using Trico with 2 good damage rolls, the first doing just enough damage to not have him heal with his held Berry Juice, and the second doing over half. Torchic is almost certainly better just because it has a chance of coming with speed boost, and I don't really use Trico after the first fight with May. And because that's not happening at level 5, I have to grind. In this ROM hack, there are a lot more Pokemon in the starting areas. On Route 101, Wurmple, Weedle, and Caterpie are my best chances of actually winning the fight and getting experience points. Though a weak yet low encounter rate Pokemon, Igglybuff is a guaranteed win. I make sure to save after every fight I win so I keep my experience since I probably won't be winning another fight anytime soon. At level 9, I finally realized Skiddy was a guaranteed win at a higher encounter rate and a higher experience gain, so that's where I finished my grinding. Now level 13, I can guarantee a 2-hit KO, so I reset until I get a crit because after hours of grinding, I didn't feel like doing more of it if it wasn't necessary. I can now catch some Pokemon, which in a no damage run is risky of course, so I save before each attempt, go back to it if I get hit, and save after each successful capture. For now, the only important captures are an Eater and male. It's just not a barely Alec Pokemon challenge without one of these or its female counterpart after all. And for a fight, my Trico would need to be a much higher level for, because of the necessity to use Quick Attack. I have the perfect excuse to catch a Pidgey who not only has Stab Quick Attack, but also some amazing level up moves for the run. Adamant Nature doesn't hurt either. A somewhat interesting thing happened when I was capturing Pokemon. Nature Power gains the ability to inflict statuses in this area, and it happened to poison an Electrike. I caught it and almost saved, but thankfully realized that would have been a huge mistake since it would take damage when I walked, and I didn't have an item in my bag to heal the condition. Soft locking myself here and having to start over would not have been fun. After some more grinding, Pidgey evolves to level 16. This is enough to get me through the battle of the quick attacks and the rest of the bug-infested route. The first battle that might clue someone in that this ROM hack ups the difficulty by so much is against this Team Magma Grunt with 6 Pokemon. His lead is the biggest problem he has to offer. It resists my moves, and instead of grinding up a new Pokemon, I level up to 20 and learn Air Slash, a move with 80 base power that has a 30% chance to flinch the opponent. You can probably see where I'm going with this, and I'm not gonna lie, Air Slash pretty much sums up the rest of this run. Earlier I said I thought setup moves were in the game when I started this. What I imagined I would do is lower the opponent's accuracy with Sand Attack and paralyze it to lower its chance to move, so I can then send in a Pokemon with a move like Swords Dance and just sweep the opposing team for big fights like the Elite Four. I can definitely see why the creator removed this option because it's pretty cheap and boring, but I didn't expect all setup moves to just go away. Like, if accuracy modifiers were gone, whatever. But if moves like Swords Dance still existed, even if the opponent had 4 attacking moves, I could potentially PP stall the opponent out of a specific move so I could set up, which would have been fun and interesting. But I can't do that, so I have to resort to this. Also, I want to clarify that I think this ROM hack looks like it'd be a really fun casual playthrough. I was just dumb and didn't research. I seriously recommend the game if you're looking for a challenging Pokemon experience. It'd be ridiculous for me to think this is a bad game just because it doesn't suit the challenge I self-imposed. There's a fight against Red, which should be easy for my level 21 Pidgeotto, except Squirtle knows Fake Out. And most of you probably know that in this generation, Fake Out only has +1 priority, just like Quick Attack. And since I outspeed him, I would be the one to go first. I did not know that. So I thought I had to get a Pokemon with Protect. Duxtox normally learns Protect at level 17 in Pokemon Emerald. I caught 3 Wurmples before getting him to level 7 and it evolving into the wrong Pokemon twice, only to finally get the right one and not learn Protect. So I kept leveling him until I found the sheet online that says level up moves in this game, and the only Pokemon that learns Protect or Detect via level up that I have access to at this point is Volbeat, at level 29. Have I mentioned that for grinding I started using Emulator Speed Up and not caring if I get hit? If you can get 1 experience point, then you can get 1,000,000 by just repeating the battle. If my Pokemon is a low level, just imagine me getting experience by decimating the wild Skitty population. This just saves me time. So at level 29, I easily beat Red by using Protect on the turn Squirtle is sent in. I fish for an Omanyte and have to keep leveling it up to beat the gym trainers. At level 30, I one-shot everything with Bubble Beam, the only exception being Aurora Beam on the leap. I make most double battles single battles when I can by just talking to the trainers one at a time, which is helpful especially when they have moves like Fake Out. This Team Magma Grunt's Pokemon get one-shot by Air Slash up until the last Pokemon, Barbaroach, has a Focus Band. The best chance I have to get past this fight is to use Air Slash, so if he gets the 10% chance to survive at 1 HP, my 30% chance to flinch will hopefully also activate. And that's exactly what happened, 3 times in a row. The fighting gym leader has multiple Pokemon with Fake Out, so I need a Pokemon with Protect or Detect. Since I don't have access to Ghost-type Pokemon yet because Sableye and Shedinja are post-game Pokemon in this ROM hack, I catch a Meditite since it learns Detect and is part Psychic. I stupidly didn't learn High Jump Kick because I didn't want to rely more on luck than I already have been, but that was a big mistake. At level 37, it evolves into Medicham, but I need to be level 39 to one-shot Hariyama. The Electric Gym has many Pokemon who use Thunder Wave, so I take advantage of that by holding a Cherry Berry for what's essentially a free turn. For Watson, I train up my Nidorino in the grass. It's worth mentioning I also have access to the daycare now. At level 42, Drill Run destroys the entire team. A Team Magma Grunt has a team of 5 Pokemon that none of my current Pokemon can solo. I initially used Medicham to Psychic the Golbat, but Metang resists all of my moves. Nidoking can't one-shot the Shelgon, so I have to do something else. I eventually used Volbeat, who I leveled up in the daycare, to confuse Golbat, who has to hit himself twice in a row. I can now one-shot everything except Metang, who needs to hit himself once. Most fights in this playthrough require some strategy and a lot of luck, so in the interest of interest, and so I get this video out, I'm skipping over most of them. Otherwise, this whole video would just be me saying I need X amount of flinches for this fight and X amount of flinches for that fight, and it's already dangerously close to that. The most important fights are at the end anyway. Ninjask outspeeds my Medicham, but not my Pidgeot. The issue with keeping him in is the insane luck required to get 5 flinches on the incoming Golem alone, and that's ignoring the flinches I need on the other Pokemon. For this reason, I train up a Yanma with Speed Boost. At level 49, it learns Hypnosis, which I thought would be helpful for giving me an opportunity to switch while the enemy is asleep. Except not all, but most Pokemon, even in random trainer battles, are holding Lumberries in this game, so I ended up having to overlevel my Nidoking to get through this. The first battle I use switching to my advantage in is against this Magma Admin. I start with Nidoking to beat the Dodrio and Manectric. When Flygon is in, it'll use its super effective Earthquake, so I send in Pidgeot to be unaffected. I do need to get lucky with 1 flinch on Flygon, but it's needed because even though Arcanine uses Wild Charge, Nidoking being unaffected and then one-shotting the Arcanine and Aggron still leaves a coughing that requires 2 hits. Instead, on Aggron's Earthquake, I switch in Yanma and use Hypnosis for a free switch into Medicham, and from there I can easily deal with the rest. Heart Scales can only be found in random rocks throughout the game, so I use one of them to learn High Jump Kick to deal with the Registeel, but after that comes out the Golbat. So instead, I lead with Nidoking, who can deal with Registeel, Alakazam, and Claydol all in one hit. He can't do the same to Duskull, so I send in Pidgeot on the turn it hopefully goes for Will-O-Wisp, which my Rossberry heals. I need 2 flinches or some Will-O-Wisp misses to take him out. Next out is Crobat, who unfortunately has the ability Inner Focus, meaning it can't flinch. I level up my Nidoking and Pidgeot in the daycare until I one-shot. The Houndoom has Intimidate, but I got a crit, so my 2-shot needing a flinch became a 1-shot, and I'm not complaining. The Fire Gym has Permanent Sun, and some Pokemon have Chlorophyll, so I level up my Medicham for that, and have my Nidoking sweep the gym leader. I'm surprised she didn't have Pokemon with Chlorophyll herself. For the normal gym, I focus on making 1 Pokemon faint per turn, which works out pretty well with slacking on the opposing team. The Kangaskhan knows Fake Out, so I make sure to detect with Medicham, which he normally targets. On the next turn, I have to take both out since slacking won't loaf around. This works out pretty well because the next 2 Pokemon are easily one-shot, leaving a single Snorlax, which I unfortunately miss against. Whoops. 1 more try is all it takes. I can now pick up some Lucky Eggs, which I'm about to put to use since this Ninjask outspeeds my Medicham, which I need since Kecleon knows Fake Out. I stubbornly level up Medicham continuously in the grass of Fortress City. Every few levels I check to see if I outspeed the Ninjask. Level 83, 85, 93, 95, 97, 99, 100. Heckin' IVs, man. I'll do what I should have done in the first place then. I start with Nidoking and switch into Yanma, who will be unaffected by Dig, and on the same turn put the foe to sleep. From there, I can switch into Medicham, and so long as he doesn't wake up, I can knock him out. Kecleon's up next, who after Detect I take out with High Jump Kick. Shedinja can't be knocked out by Medicham, so I switch into Pidgeot as he goes for Shadow Ball. Azumarill either needs to get hit by a crit or flinch, so eventually I take it out, winning the fight. For Winona, I level up Nidoking all the way to level 98 so I can one-shot all of her Pokemon with him and Medicham. Are there other Pokemon I could be using these fights that wouldn't need to overlevel as much? Sure, but catching and training Pokemon for one fight would take way too long. If I use Surf on the turn Regirock counters, then I can two-shot him since Drill Run isn't enough. This Magma Admin also has a Salamence, so I can't use Medicham to block Fake Out. But now that I'm in this part of the game, I can actually get a Ghost-type Pokemon, so I catch up a Net. Now when he uses Fake Out, I switch into my new Pokemon to be unaffected. Problem is, Banette can't exactly do much, so I have to switch again into my Pidgeot. The other problem is I need Nidoking to be in on the turn Kangaskhan faints. Long story short, I continuously switch between unaffected Pokemon until he runs out of Crush Claw and Shadow Ball, leaving him with Earthquake and Fake Out. But I can't one-shot him with Nidoking, so before he's sent in, I weaken the foe with Air Slash, which also guarantees that Earthquake won't be used on the next turn, even if Fake Out does nothing. Gotta love Pokemon AI. Now Nidoking can finish off the Kangaskhan and one-shot the Cast Form. With Salamance's Intimidate wasted, his job is done. He can't one-shot Salamence and won't outspeed a Venusaur with Chlorophyll. I send in Yanma on the turn Earthquake is used and just need one flinch. Do I really have to PP stall Kangaskhan again? Like I said, one flinch, and thanks to Speed Boost, victory is finally mine. The Psychic Gym is all forced double battles. They're actually kind of fun. This Clefable has Follow Me, which can cause problems, but if she doesn't use it, all I have to do is focus the trainer on the right while Clefable is still asleep. This way, by the time she wakes up, I can attack the same Pokemon twice before they get a turn. The gimmicks these fights have are pretty cool too. This one uses Skill Swap, so Truant isn't on slacking anymore. Though now it's on Espeon, so it's not a great strategy. I detect an incoming Fake Out and Skill Swap, so by the time Truant is swapped to me, it just doesn't matter. This one has Trapping Pokemon paired with Perish Song, so focus the singing Pokemon while Wobbuffet kinda like just watches. This one doesn't even make sense. It's explosion Pokemon paired with ghost types that know Protect and Imprison, so if it uses that move, then I can't use Protect. Most Pokemon that learn a blocking move learn Detect. Volbeat is the only Pokemon in the game that can learn Protect, so why have a dedicated strategy to countering Volbeat that most likely won't keep Protect in its moveset? For Tate and Liza, I basically just need Latios to flinch once, and that's most of the fight. Everything else is one shot, with the only other problem being Medicham knowing Fake Out, so I switch to my Ghost type when that happens, and that's it. Now to get Calm Mind, oh yes, Emerald Kaizo, so you get Psychic instead. This Magma Grunt's Crobat can't flinch, is holding a Lumberry, and outspeeds my Medicham, so it's time for a new Psychic type to make its debut. I catch an Abra and have to breed it so it doesn't miss out on Kadabra and Alakazam's level up moves. Since I was already breeding it, I waited until I got a Good Nature and the ability Synchronize. I get that after a while and do some fun epic grinding. At level 68, I outspeed and one-shot the Crobat. I don't solo the fight with him though. When Duskull uses Shadow Ball, I switch to Pidgeot. Later in the fight, I switch a Nidoking on the Thunderbolt, but he just barely misses the KO. So I switch in Pidgeot, then Medicham holding a Cherry Berry to Fake Out, then safely switch back into Nidoking to do just enough damage and finish the fight from there. Next up is a double battle with Steven. I am not Steven, so his Pokemon can get hit. The enemies do a pretty good job of focusing him to the point that after Gengar faints, every other Pokemon just uses Earthquake, so I can send in my Flying type, and that's pretty much that. The Team Aqua base has Permanent Rain and a lot of Swift Swim users. For some fights I can use Yanma's Speed Boost with Detect to outspeed. From there I can choose to put the Swift Swim foe to sleep or stay in and go for flinches. If they have a Lumberry or have multiple Swift Swim users, I have to stay in and hope for a ton of flinches. For other battles, I can use my own Pokemon with Swift Swim. Kabutops is great because Rock Slide in this ROM hack has 100% accuracy with 75 base power, so flinching is still the name of the game, as lame as it is. For the Water Gym, I finally decide to get a Water Absorb Pokemon. I just don't know which Pokemon have Water Absorb since so many abilities have been changed. Because of that, I spent over an hour trying to find a Lapras, and when I finally find and catch it, it doesn't have Water Absorb. At this point, I'm annoyed at pretty much everything about this challenge, which once again is entirely my fault, but that probably just makes me more annoyed. So I go into a ROM editor and on a fresh copy of Emerald Kaizo change the first route encounters to Pokemon that normally have Water Absorb as an ability. Lapras? Nope. Vaporeon? Nope. Poliwag? Nope. Mantine? Nope. Chimchar? Nope. Cacnea like it has for hidden ability in later games? Nope. Wooper? Yes, finally. Now I get to look through all the random encounters in this ROM through the same ROM editor. After a while, I find that Wooper's located in the Safari Zone, so I go there only to realize I was looking at a post-game area. And then I realize he was also located in an area I have access to in the Safari Zone, so we're good. I catch a few without getting Water Absorbed, so I breed them until I get the right ability. With this Pokemon, I can now switch into incoming Water-type moves, which is helpful in situations like this where I need to switch out to another Pokemon to deal with the Swift Swim user, since Kabutops wouldn't be as good against her later Pokemon. So I switch into Wooper, then to Yanma when the foe uses Drill Run. I just need 2 flinches, one against Seaking and one against Wishcash. Lastly, Mawile is sent out, who I can damage lightly with Yanma as he's put to sleep, only to wake up, making the foe use it again for a free switch into Kabutops, who without the Intimidate on him and lower health of the foe allow for a one-shot. Double battles with Kabutops are pretty nice since Rock Slide hits both opponents. That combined with focusing one Pokemon down each turn minimizes the number of flinches required for the final gym badge. Wally has a tough last Pokemon, a Blissey with Psywave, Seismic Toss, Counter, and Soft Boiled. It won't go for counter against Nidoking because of its psychic move, and he would naturally be in since Raichu is up before Blissey. This moveset is exploitable though. By switching between my Ghost type and Dark type, I can PP stall the Blissey out of psychic moves, and after that I leave in my Ghost type since I'm afraid of it having more seismic tosses and counters. Eventually it does run out of soft boiled and faints. Red of course requires a lot of flinches. It was super fun. And now I've finally made it to the Elite Four. A nice thing about this ROM hack is that rare candies are sold for 1 Pokepenny, so I can build a team without grinding. Only problem is there's still no setup moves. Smeargle's a post-game Pokemon, so I can't even sketch a setup move. Thief doesn't steal items in this game, and weather moves don't exist. Also, each member of the Elite Four has 6 level 100 Pokemon with good stats, and most holding Lumberries. There's not much I can do other than make them flinch. So I breed 4 Yanmas, level them up, and make my way to the Elite Four. The amount of flinches these fights required are so many that there's absolutely no way I would attempt this without save states. So yeah, I just save state before every turn, and if I don't flinch, I just load the last state. Not much to talk about other than I also use the 70% accurate flash to increase the chance of the opponent losing a turn, since the penalty for them breaking through or missing is just reloading a state, and the lowered accuracy is helpful every turn the opponent is in. I use up a lot of PP, so I'm holding Lepa berries. I can also put the foe to sleep if their accuracy is low enough to miss a turn the berry cures sleep the first time. Phoebe's Crobat can't flinch, which would hurt my strategy, if not for the fact it's not holding a Lumberry unlike most other Pokemon. That means I can put it to sleep, so it's not that bad. I can even detect the turn he wakes up since the sleep counter is decided on the turn the Pokemon is put to sleep. Against Glacia, I use Kabutops since the rain is up in this fight, and Kabutops does more damage. Drake's Latios and Latios both aren't holding Lumberries, so that makes him easier. Now it's time for the epic finale. Gee, I wonder if I'll win. Place your bets. Steven's Metagross takes so little damage that it really goes to show how consistent this strategy would be without states. But yeah, flinch, flinch, flinch. That's it, that's the video. I hope it was somewhat enjoyable to watch. I'm going to be doing this challenge in a different difficult ROM hack that I actually researched, and will be focusing on 100% consistent strategies unlike the mess that was this video, so if you want to see that, consider subscribing. I've also made videos on other Pokemon challenges that are a lot better, like Pokemon without moves and Pokemon with only a Pokewalker. If you like this, you'll love those.